Hello, everybody. Rebecca here. Today is 9/3/2025. The time is 11:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have y'all looking at EMSC, and first I'm going to point out that there's been a 4.5 24 minutes ago in the Jan Mayen region, which is up here near Iceland. It is 10 kilometers deep. Let's go take a look. It was 600, well, it was 913 kilometers northeast of Reykjavik, Iceland. So is the first earthquake that we see here. So let's go take a look at where this is located on Google Earth. So let's just get this in here. And we'll show where this area is. It's above. This is Jan Mayen volcano up here, as you see right here. And this is the Eurasian North American divergent boundary. And then, of course, down here we have Iceland. So this is just one of our earthquakes that's going along the ridge here. So as we look next, we're just looking at fours for today. There's also been a 4.0 near the coast of central Peru, a 5.3 in Ecuador. We'll go over the fives in a few minutes. There's been a 4.0 Kepulauan Sangihe, Indonesia. This one was 175 kilometers deep. Then in Fiji, there's been a 4.7, 534 kilometers deep. As we move on down to our deeper earthquakes, we can see that there has been a 4.0 Seram, Indonesia. It was 342 kilometers deep. And a 4.6 Santa Cruz Islands, which was 104 kilometers deep. Also in Indonesia, Kepulauan Barat Daya, Indonesia has had an earthquake that was 133 kilometers deep. Also off of shore of Chiapas, Mexico, there's been a 4.2. It was 88 kilometers deep. Down here, Tarapaca, Chile, there's been a 4.4. It was 124 kilometers deep. Then there was also a 4.1 northern Peru, 163 kilometers deep. We also see that there was a 4.5 in Morocco. As we move down, there has also been a 5.0 southeast of Loyalty Islands, 15 kilometers deep. And this goes back into yesterday. So now we'll look at our 5.0 earthquakes for today. And there has been 4 5.0 earthquakes. First one was Santa Cruz Islands. It was a 5.0, which is over here near Indonesia, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu. It was 348 kilometers northwest of Sola, Vanuatu. Population there is 1,100. This is only 10 kilometers deep. As we move on up, we can see that there was a 5.3 off the east coast of Kamchatka. They are still having aftershocks. And then there was the 5.3 Ecuador. It was 163 kilometers deep. So we'll go and take a look at where this is located. And this is a deeper earthquake. So as we move over here, we can see this is towards the volcanic region. Tangarahua. Ecuador is northern Andean volcanic arc. And it's a composite stratovolcano. So we can see that this is actually towards the volcanic areas over here. So it is something to keep an eye on. That's Sangihe right there. So this is a deeper earthquake. So I would say that it may be magmatic movement, especially since it's sort of in the middle here. And then we have the continental convergent boundary over here. So as we move into our next earthquakes, we're going to look at Canada. We can see that for today, there has been 2 earthquakes. A 1.0, which was 16 kilometers south of Bay, St. Paul, Queen Charlotte, and a 0.8, 16 kilometers south of Bay, St. Paul, Queen Charlotte. And we can see that, let's find Queen Charlotte here because I'm really bad at this. I am not seeing the earthquakes. That's Yukon. But I am not seeing the earthquakes listed. That's a 1.4. That was on the 2nd. That was yesterday. And because they're so small, it might be that's why we don't see them. That's a 0.8. That's one of the ones for today right there. But I don't see the other one. And they were both in Queen Charlotte, so I'm not seeing a second earthquake. I'm just seeing the first one. Less up, they're on top of each other. There's a 0.8 and the 1.0. Both of them are on top of each other. And because they're moved, that makes it harder to see. What we have over here. We have a swarm going on here. Next, we're going to take a look at our national weather. And we'll see that the hurricane is a 70% chance with a low 30% chance during the next 48 hours. We're also going to look at the Eastern Pacific. And we can see Lorena here. Lorena, I believe, is going to go across Mexico. Kiko is headed on its way towards Hawaii. So, we're going to take a look at Lorena real quick. We can see that Lorena plans to do a turn and head on into Mexico. And looks like it may end up in New Mexico where it fizzles out here. And then Kiko, I'm going to look at the other one. So we can see Kiko is a hurricane, and by 8 p.m. Sunday, it will be right here. So it looks as though Kiko is making a beeline for Hawaii. Now, if we take a look at our windy here for our storm, which is going on over in this area, we'll see what it plans on doing for this next week. We can see as it moves across into the Atlantic, it'll grow some, but I think that this one might fizzle out. So I see it right here growing. 10 million strong and growing. However, I don't think it'll get probably to hurricane status, but I believe that this one may die out. Hopefully, we're hoping here. This is hopeism. We can see our hurricane over here headed towards Hawaii. So we can see we have one in the Pacific and one in the Atlantic here. This is Hawaii right here, so it looks like it's going to hit Hawaii here. This one here is still headed towards the little islands here. So this one looks like it's definitely going to hit Hawaii. Yep, that one hits Hawaii. And that is by Tuesday, 9th, 10th. And this one here, still moving towards Dominican Republic area. So it looks as though they may have to deal with a hurricane. But I think if it hits the land, it hits land completely, it may actually take away the oomph of this storm. And yes, it looks like it did. Looks like the eye hits land and causes it to lose some of its potential. And it also looks like we have a storm forming up here by North Carolina. But we're still watching this little area right here. It does have a chance to come back because the fact that the waters are so warm. And it looks like it's coming back. However, it looks like it may be turning. And it is still right here, but it looks as though it's lost a lot of its energy as it gets swept up and moved on out. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen, because now as of the 17th, that's hopism. So we will see what happens, but it looks like it's doing some of the same movement as our last hurricane, and then we have another system back here forming. All right, you guys, so that's what I have for you all today. I hope you all are doing well. Please be safe. Share the video. And much love.